Good morning, football fans. This video today I'm making, actually wanted to do this outside. I'm at the our beach here in Ohio, and I'm doing it here basically for a couple of different reasons. It's drizzling a little bit. I don't know if you can see it in the video, but just to let you know that sometimes things aren't perfect, and you have to roll with the punches when things aren't perfect, as it's been with our video game football history. So what I wanted to do today is I wanted to just give you an overview of what's been going on, and then also let you know what the team structure is and what we've got planned coming forward. And so I'll get right into that, and you know, we'll address what we're going to do with gameplay and things like that too. So the team is structured. We've got 2 developers, 2 programmers, and 1 environmental 3D artist. We are currently looking for a character artist. Right now, as far as the player models and everything goes, I'm going to be actually doing that work right now until we get a character artist. And the reason why I want to get a character artist is so I can spend more time on the promotion of the game, and also just the oversight of the vision of the game and everything too. So I've done a lot of work in this project, from programming to just about everything, animation work, and the modeling and everything too. And speaking of animation, our 4th team member is Peter Mindersma. He is our programmer, or not programmer, he's our animator, and he's been with me ever since this thing has started, basically. And we still have Tom Allenbaugh. He's a programmer on board. He is more in a consultant role now, because Tom actually works for another company, Multivarious Games, and he's involved heavily in some projects that they're doing right now, so he's not able to actually do a lot of the programming as he did in the past, but he's more there as a consultory role for us right now. But we have 2 programmers, Xavier Harden and Rene Barrero, and then we have David Osorio, who is our environmental 3D artist. He's going to be responsible for all the environment, stadiums, and he's also going to do some of the game design as well, because he's a game designer. And then we have Peter Mindersma, who is our animator and rigger and everything. And just from Ryan Moody's last video with David Osorio, I just wanted to give you a little update on that. We have fixed the rigging issues with the player model. We have also got the player model in great shape right now. So the player model works with the animations. I had Renee test those out, and him and Peter went through all the corrections on that, so we're all good there. So the game actually, just a little bit of the overview, we had some programmers, as I mentioned, on this project that really just did not, B just came by, just did not have the, I feel, the experience required, or it goes beyond experience, I should say. Let me rephrase that. They just didn't have the ability to pull off what these guys are able to do. I mean, within a short period of time, Renee and Xavier have gone through this project and corrected a lot of mistakes that could have cost us earlier. And now, you know, I'll take responsibility for hiring a lot of these guys in the past, because you know, my passion is wanting to get the game out, and there were some things that I just did not look at from a talent perspective, and those were mistakes that, you know, obviously I'm not going to be making again, because, you know, we're farther along now. And so what we did was we went back and fixed a lot of those. So the foundation of the game now is a lot better than it was several months ago. We made a lot of ground from, you know, taking 6-7 months to do stuff to taking, you know, a few days or a couple of weeks to do things now. So we have ramped up our ability to fix things and make things better, and present things a lot better than we used to. We went back, and I decided, you know, to do this because I wasn't really happy with the graphics were good, but they weren't to the expectations that I thought they should be, and for the fans and everything out there. And we have the capability these days, even from an indie development standpoint, to make great graphics. And just like from an indie music standpoint, I've been involved in that. You can make great recordings with you know, limited equipment and software now, because it's just, things are so much better than they used to be years ago. You don't need to go to a big studio anymore. You don't need a big studio developing a game. But you know, I wanted to give you guys an overview of where we are. There were some mistakes made earlier on by myself and the development crew in getting this game to where it should be, and I'll take full responsibility for that because I'm the one that's running the project and everything. But rest assured, you guys are going to have a great product at the end of the day. We went back and, like I said, gutted out a lot of the graphics, so we're going to have better grass, we're going to have better stands. I've mapped out the things for the crowds and everything, so we're going to, these guys are going to do some, I've given them the ability to use their creative ability to make things. So I want them to figure out new ways of making gameplay. And speaking of that, Renee and Xavier are working very hard on the gameplay, and I'm not going to commit and say we're going to have it tomorrow or something like that, but we're very close. And what I've asked them to do with the gameplay, they're taking the comments off the Trello board and everything, and they're implementing some of these things gradually into their build, so we can have comprehensive gameplay. We want the gameplay to be basically represent football, the blocking, tackling, passing, and kicking. And then we're going to take that gameplay and then enhance it as we go further. But the main thing that we're shooting for now is to get the gameplay solid, player models and everything together, stadiums together. And as far as the customization, I know I flip-flop back and forth on this, but the direction that we're going to take on the customization right now is going to be, you'll be able to customize teams, players, stats, and stuff like that. However, the stadiums may take a little bit more time, so we're going to put canned stadiums in the game now, and then we'll have some stadiums available for DLC, and then we'll give the user the ability to mod those stadiums later on when we figure out what type of editor we want to create for that, so people can have it easy. We want to make it easy, as David said in Ryan Moody's video. We want to make it more or less like a grid, like Fallout 4, and where you will be able to just take the stadium pieces and just, we have modular sections constructed, but you'll take these stadium pieces and just put them together like a puzzle or like Legos, and then make your own stadium out of that. That's the goal of that, but we may not have that in the first iteration of the game. Our goal right now is to firstly get the gameplay done. Secondly, well, this is simultaneously, we're going to have the stadiums made, because we got to have the stadiums to make the gameplay, the base stadiums, and then for all styles of play. Canadian, we have American, we have arena, and then we have my game, dynamic football. So we're trying to make the game as comprehensive as possible, so you'll have the replayability that you want to when you play this thing over and over again. That's what my whole vision was when I started to do this, and that's why I said our game is going to be a lot different than a lot of the games out there. From the structure of it, it's just going to be different. It's going to be football. It's going to be football that you're normally accustomed to, but it's going to be our spin. And I've given our developers and artists the creative liberties to be creative in this process too. I'll proof everything before I send it out, but I want them to be creative and do something a little different than games have been done in the past. So with that being said, I just wanted to give you guys a kind of overview of where things are, and let you know that we are definitely dedicated. I'm dedicated to making this project. I've spent time and money in this, and we're an indie company. We're not a large studio, and that's what some people out on these boards, they just can't grasp. They think that everything has to be done in the EA fashion or the 2K fashion. Well, those guys have a lot more money than we do, and they can hire PR directors and all this other stuff that we can't. But to guys like myself, Danny Jugan and Dave Winter, and just look at what Axis Football and Dave Winter with Canuck Play have done. A lot of people think that you have to be a big company to make a football game, and these guys have proven that that's not true. And we're going to do the same thing. You don't need to be a big company to make a football game. You just have to have the a vision, a plan, and you have to have some money to do this. You do have to have some money to do this, and we haven't begged anybody for money or anything like that. This is coming out of my own pocket, and I have one other investor, and that's my mom, and she really believes in what I'm doing, and that's why she's invested into it herself. I have a business plan. I have a well thought out project and everything. So you know, the project's being run from a professional standpoint. Although some of the decisions within it that I've made have been you know, I haven't made the most professional decisions when it comes to hiring people. I've changed that paradigm, and you know, now I'm a lot more picky about who we bring on board. The whole development crew is down in Atlanta right now, except for Peter. He's in Texas, and you know, we have more continuity than we ever had, and that's the main thing. We don't have guys spread from state to state. You know, all these guys, like Xavier and Renee, they live right next to each other, and Dave, I mean, they all live together in the same area. So I was really fortunate with that. So they can, you know, sit down and work things out without having to be over the internet doing it and things like that. So we have a big advantage now. And again, we are going to release this game this year. And again, the dates and everything, I will announce those dates as they come. We're going to do the announcement right on our channel right here, and we're going to let everybody know. So one other quick thing is that you know, I had some people comment about me deleting them off of our board. Well, this is my world right here. This YouTube channel is my world, and if I want like-minded people in there, then I'll have like-minded people in there. We want this to be, as I mentioned in one of my my comments, is that I want this to be a safe haven for people to come out here and actually be able to talk about video game football and have constructive criticism. I'm not against that at all. But when you come out and people just want to make comments and be trolls and stuff like that, I will remove you off of the board, because this is a place where we want people to come out here and not be afraid to discuss their ideas, because I don't believe any idea is stupid or anything like that, because everybody brings something to the table, I think, in this world. So when we have people like that just want to come out and just make these little snide comments, then I will remove them quickly from the board. So eventually these people will fade into the sunset, because we have with football history, we want this to be a game that people are going to enjoy playing, and I believe if I make it the way that I want it to be made, it's going to be that. So you guys, just stay with us. You know, I know it's been frustrating. It's been frustrating for me, because I'm right next to it and I see things getting done, and I'm like, damn, you know, why aren't we here yet? Why aren't we here yet? So I'm just as frustrated as you guys are about a lot of these things. So I'll stay on these guys to make sure that we get the product that we want, because, you know, after all, I'm paying for it, and I, you know, I want to get, you know, what I'm paying for. So that's all I had to say about that. I want you guys to stay with us, and you know, if you have any comments that are constructive, you know, and you want to talk about video game football with other people on the board, do that. But if it gets to the point where you're just being a troll, then, you know, you will be removed from the board. So guys, take it easy. Happy Sunday. Talk to you guys later. Bye.